So we've been through, we plan to end this 3-year period with a turnover total of about 7 million. This is a conservative estimate. We want to be, realistic.
What would be your profit?
The profit is going to be 1.6, and this is based upon formulating. We have guaranteed because we already have supply chain in place. We have full agreements with factories. We know how much we pay for the product, how much we pay for the handling, shipping, and after sale that is going to be handled by Amazon directly.
Current capacity.
But it's outsourced.
It's outsourced. Design is ours. All the features of the product have been designed in-house in the startup. Software, firmware, it's all ours. What we do, we give the blueprints for production to companies outside. They sign a commercial agreement with us, and they make the product for us, and they install the firmware that we provide at the production site. So, but the capacity is 1 million units per year each of the companies. So in theory, we have 2 million pieces capacity.
We thought of this program as a single technology that enable all possibilities within your smartphone. And in doing that, we're trying to answer the questions behind on the topic by using smartphones. And what they want is not technology, something that is very efficient, very useful in the context possible. They don't want technology basically. It has to be there, but it doesn't have to take the space. In service, I want to solve problems. People want to solve problems. They don't want just technology to talk about it. And smartphone is aimed at answering all of these questions. In order to do this, we have to rethink the environment rather than a collection of products. That's why our product is called Smartphone. And the reason for it is that we talk about sport intelligence, quality of individuals, pieces of technology that cooperate with one another to achieve a goal, to realize a certain goal problem. So all of the things that startups can do are aimed at answering worries and problems that smartphones in order to make this work, we have to enable a technological platform. So what this is done for the computer science industry, smartphones and for the communication platform that enables input. Something that can change the behavior of diseases across the smartphone industry is called apps. We call them smart plugins. And they are just small pieces of software that can turn your smart switch whatever you might require. However, you can do it. And you do it just installing a feature that turns that device into something different. In order to do this, we have to create an infrastructure, software, and hardware that is enabled that. So, next year, of course, I have to mention that, of course, okay. So, we've been through, we plan to end this 3-year period with a turnover total of about 7 million. This is a conservative estimate. We want to be realistic.
What would be your profit?
The profit is going to be 1.6, and this is based upon formulating. We have guaranteed because we already have supply chain in place. We have full agreements with factories. We know how much we pay for the product, how much we pay for the handling, shipping, and after sale that is going to be handled by Amazon directly. These are numbers that are based on
How much you're looking for at the moment?
we are looking about so the equity that we're looking for is about 3.5 million.
The dilution of how much?
we haven't answered that. We talked about and the agreement or the idea was that we did this discussion, but do you think we have to?
No, you don't need to.
Okay. Because
You don't have now, you don't need to.
Right. My idea is that I don't want to have a company that's 100% mine. This is this is not the strategy. I want to remain. We want to remain people. If we have to provide some equity and some shares in order to make the company a success, we're not. We're not against that.
How many slides left?
No, we're done.
Which means 7 minutes divided by 13 slides.
Yeah. How much?
30 seconds.
7 hours.
And of course, always there to scale up ventures, always there to help startups to grow, always there to help investors to connect with the right kind of startups. So here in this room, I expect that we'll be having amazing energy flow because we have 10 different startups from various parts of the world. They are coming and traveling, and in fact one of them is actually recording it as well, and he's from my motherland, India. Thanks for him. And we have two different other investors who already joined in Zoom. Prashun is a great friend of mine from US. He runs one of the finest angel syndicate over there, and George, he runs another fund. So thank you for joining us in Zoom from Zurich and from USA. They couldn't travel and probably will have another one. She'll be joining soon in Zoom. She just sent us a message. There's a good number of people. Interact with them, ask as many questions that you want, communicate with them, and if you can help them in any way in business, growth, fundraising, anything will be actually really appreciable. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our project in our company. My name is Giorgio Grasso, and I'll be talking about SmartBug, that is a smart automation high-tech startup company. So I'll talk about what we do right off the start. So I give away the suspense from the beginning. We work on the development and production of an in-wall smart switch that aims at revolutionizing the smart environment, smart home ecosystem. It is a smart switch that hides inside your in-wall socket, and if it's any socket in the world, it's the smallest footprint in-wall smart switch available on the market, and it contains a number of sensors and actuators that can render it an enabling platform, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. I brought the product so you can see how big it is, because sometimes from the presentation it's not quite clear how big it is. So it fits and substitute your in-wall switch. What we try to do is try to answer what users want for their smart home. They want something simple, they want something that is efficient, that is easily usable, discreet, and service-oriented. They want to solve problems. They don't just love technology, they love technology to solve some problems they have around the house. So we try to work on this idea, and we started 3.5 years ago testing the technology, and in 2019 we founded a startup company that started the development of this product. So it works like a regular switch. It can be configured immediately. It uses the home available Wi-Fi network. It is very easy to use. It's touch sensitive, so you can use it as you use your normal switches in your home, switch on the light or whatever you do with your switch. But also it's very discreet. It hides if you don't want it to be visible. It's a technology that integrates with your environment. Has no wirings, has no hubs, or any other requirement. It's a system that works on its own on a collaborative system. So it's called SmartBug because the idea comes from insects colonies. You have the same hardware, say ants, each one of them is specialized in a single function depending on the needs of the colony. So you have a collection of these things scattered across a building, and you don't need anything else. And I'll show you how you turn every one of this amp into a different device using what we called the smart plug-in revolution. It's the same idea as apps for a smartphone. Our smartphones are very similar. They have very similar hardware. Why do they do different things is related to the apps that we install on them. We took the same idea and we brought it into the smart home environment. We called them smart plugins, but the idea is the same. You want to do a smart thermostat, similarly to Google Nest. You just install a smart thermostat, smart plugin into one of these devices, and it becomes a smart thermostat. And it stays that way forever, even if there is no Wi-Fi connection, no cloud connection. It's a feature that becomes part of the hardware. And the way you do that is a 1, 2, 3. You choose the smart plugin you want, you install it into the smart plug you wanted to install it on, and then you enjoy your new feature through the app, or touching it, or talking to it, because it has a voice activation. Each device has a voice activation system as well. It's one device, endless possibilities. So the idea is bringing what is a smartphone operating system idea, or a PC operating system idea, in a distributed environment. You can think of it as a smart operating system for a building. And all you need to do is retrofit this whenever you have an in-wall switch or an in-wall socket available. The business model is rather articulated because it's a complicated product. So of course you will have the presentation, you can read through it, but there are a number of possible applications that range from energy management, lighting management, environment management, people's management, because the system can act also as an indoor localization system. It can act as an access control system. It can act as a remote control emulation system. And it can act as a multi-radio system because it has Wi-Fi, mesh network that allows all of these devices to talk to each other, and Bluetooth technology to talk to wearables, smartwatches, smartbands, as well as other Bluetooth technology. Of course, the automation market is something probably you know about, but it's a very fast-growing market. The USA is the largest market with the slowest growth rate. This is the most mature market, but still is in the range of 10% per year. And then we have in Europe, UK, and Germany that are leading pack with very strong growth that has actually increased during the pandemic situation because people are staying at home longer hours and they look at needs at home more often than they used to. And of course, there is a growing market that I'm not showing here because it's not significant today, which is the Far East, that is growing as well quite rapidly in this area. How do we plan to sell this product? There are 3 legs in our strategy that are aimed at B2B type of markets. One is industrial applications. We have sold to the largest utility energy production company one system for monitoring operators in underground tunnels. Leveraging on the multi-purpose technology that we have, we can bring the signal down in tunnels for kilometers. And for them, we have developed a B2B application, which is a software as a service type of solution. They buy the hardware and they pay a yearly subscription for monitoring operators on the ground. AAL, Aided Assisted Living, we have developed an application that is used in conjunction with smart watches to monitor position and health of elderly at home or in long-term facilities, health facilities. And this is something that is also an application that we already have made. And we are working on smart home and building management, which is one other area where B2B is growing, where people need to manage energy, conditions, and people inside private or large public building facilities. The competition is quite easy for me because this device is very small, but it packs a very large number of technologies because we want it to be an enabling technology. You should be able to do anything you want in a smart environment, smart building, a smart home with this device without changing the hardware. Just add software to it. So in terms of features, it's really up here compared to any other technology that is available on the market right now. Cost-wise, we are rather competitive. Every device retails for $50. So we are right in the middle of the range of smart home devices with a huge number of features integrated into it. The team, it's myself, I am the CTO of the company. I have also academic experience. I'm a professor of artificial intelligence at a university in Italy. And I've worked in the hardware, firmware, software industry for many years. So as you can see, I'm not a youngster. Maria Doliga is our CEO, and she has a degree in physics and an extensive experience in business administration and management. Paolo Magnano, who is over there, is our marketing director and has 30+ experience in marketing in many different areas, ranging from food to buildings to industrial high-tech companies, and we had the fortune to have them on board. We had a first round of business angels that have funded 200K into the company, so we had 4 of them that have put one each coin of 50K. We also had a round from bank has given us another 300K. So far we have raised $500,000 roughly to fuel the development that has happened during 2020, where we have invested in technology, development, firmware, hardware to make the product ready. And this comes from a factory in Shenzhen with which we have an agreement, a production agreement. So we have a full cost list and detail in place. So we're looking at a new round now, and the end of 2021 was started selling the product to B2b customers, and we're closing the year with just 80K because we started at the end of the year. We're planning on, we're looking at roughly 500K for this year, and we plan on reaching the B2C market, which is really where the money is. And in order to do that, we need cash. And the reason for that is that we have been included in the Amazon Launchpad program, which is an invitation-only program for high potential scale-up startup companies. But they need to have stocks in the main hubs around the world. And this only is around $1.2 million in terms of stocked product to be ready to be shipped to final customer. And also we need cash for online marketing and advertising for a large market such as North America and Europe. So this is our call to action that basically looks at 3.5 million to reach an EBIT of 1.6 and a total turnover of $7+ million in a 3-year time. This is we believe a conservative estimate of what the market could offer us if we invest in the right way into the marketing strategy that we have laid out. And the reason is that we have very strong feedback for people who have adopted the solution, and they see how strong the solution is to solve problems that range in a very broad area of applications. Sorry, I hope I stayed in the 7 minutes. Of course, you're free to ask anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, any feedback, any questions, any ideas?
I think the sustainability angle is very important, and you can target a segment of your business dedicated to this. There's a big company here called Farnec that is looking into this kind of solution, and we'll be more than happy to introduce you. This is very important, especially for hospital, hotel, restaurants to have a feedback on water, electricity consumption, CO2 emission, etc. So that's I think it's an angle for raising money as well that you can make it more visible as a suggestion to press a bit on the sustainability aspect, because it is as well what investors.
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And so, how many you sold in the last month of the 2021? What was the figure?
We were closing with a turnover of about 80,000 euros.
Okay, of revenue.
Of revenues, yeah.
Yeah.
We started selling in November of 2021.
Yeah.
So because 2020 and 2021 have been really investing in development of the solution. So we just started selling it. We had prospects for about $500,000 for this year already with what we have.
And you said hardware and software.
Yeah, the B2b model is you buy, you say, NN, which is one of our customers. Buy the solution, you buy the hardware,
Yeah.
you buy the smart bands,
Yeah.
because they want to monitor operators in underground tunnels. And you pay them a yearly subscription for the service.
Yeah.
And the service is access to a cloud platform that we developed, where they can see the map of the tunnel, where people are, and check their heart rate, whether or not they fell on the ground, their health status in general.
Yeah.
And this is something that builds up on new customers every year, because it's a software as a service type of solution. So whatever you do this year, you'll do it next year. Any new customer will build, pile on top of the previous year's revenues. This is something that we can tackle on our own because it's not capital intensive. What we really want to achieve is strengthen this area, but also achieve B2C markets that are huge. And Amazon has already pre-qualified the solution, saying this is a highly viable solution for scale-up. And the reason is that this product can be installed anywhere in the world. It works from 85 to 265 volts, and with this patented system, can be adapted to any attachment in the world. Since it's so small, it can fit from UK to Italy to US to Australia to Japan, and it's the same product all the time. So it has this is a piece of plastic is about 3 cents of a dollar. So changing this is really nothing. And it's been thought to scale up worldwide very rapidly. And you don't have to change the hardware because it will work anywhere. You just have to, wire it in.
Any question coming from Zoom?
The production capacity what you have today, it is own production or it's an outsourced?
Yeah, we have an agreement with 2 factories in Shenzhen. 2.5 years ago, before the pandemic, I visited Shenzhen through a consultant company in Canada that introduced us to a number of production sites. We have selected 2 with which we have worked through the prototyping phase, and they have each one capacity of 1 million pieces per year. So this is the maximum current capacity.
But it's an outsourced?
It's outsourced. Design is ours. All the features of the product have been designed in-house in the startup. Software, firmware, it's all ours. What we do, we give the blueprints for production to 2 companies outside. They sign a commercial agreement with us, and they make the product for us, and they install the firmware that we provide at the production site. So, but the capacity is 1 million units per year each of the companies. So in theory, we have 2 million pieces capacity per year.
You have a plan in the next 5 years to have your own production capacity?
We don't think it's worth it. It's a very intensive investment, and the main problem is not finding alternative for production. These days, the only problem that it's hard to solve in the electronic industry is availability of components. But components are made by very large semiconductor companies, such as ST Microelectronics, Intel, Philips. These are the companies that make the actual chip. So in terms of assembly lines, we have selected 2. In that area, there are really literally thousands of them. In Europe, we have some. The reason why we have not selected European companies, we have looked at Indian companies as well, where there is room for possible agreements because they have comparable margin in India as well as higher quality in some cases. But in Europe, what they do is up until 1,000 pieces order, they'll do it locally. Otherwise, they'll go either to India or to Shenzhen. So we decided not to have a middleman. We could, and we have gone directly to the source and say, I don't want to have somebody who is a middleman to go to the company that actually produces the device. If I can, and we could, I would go to the source. But we are not tied to any specific company, and the reason why we are outsourcing it is that the market changes very rapidly, and prices are changing it's very fluid. So we want to stay independent of production capacity. Whoever has the best quality, price-quality ratio and is a reliable source, we'll use it.
So you have any plan for the production in Middle East? Or because
Yeah.
you said Europe and
Well, as I was saying, this system fits inside the wall socket. So the only thing that changes is this piece of plastic here. That will be different for Middle East.
Middle East Asia.
Yeah, but yeah, of course. The product is the same. It will market anywhere. The technology that is on board, which is based on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, is a worldwide standard. So anywhere in the world, as you know, you attach your laptop to the Wi-Fi or your smartwatch to your smartphone that uses Bluetooth, and that is standard anywhere in the world. So our idea was we want to have a product that anybody can buy on Earth, and maybe on Mars if Elon Musk gets there.
So you're based in UAE?
Sorry?
You're based in UAE?
No. We are based in Italy. We have a branch in the UK, but it's just a commercial branch for now. It's just a commercial office in the UK.
Hey, I'm so sorry, like we're overshooting time, so maybe for the next startup, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We had any questions?